Hello everybody. I am doing, I don't know, this is probably going to take quite a few videos, but basically I'm going to share with you how I am recovering from ME, because I am. Like I said, for those of you who are new to these videos, I have something new now. I slipped a disc in my neck over Christmas and I've got nerve damage and stuff, and I'm waiting for an MRI, and I had huge blood tests and everything, so that's new. But the ME part, so the pain and chronic fatigue, brain fog, and everything that happens with ME, I am still recovering from. And I want to share with you how. Because there are lots of dodgy medical people out there who sort of tell things like, oh, you've got to push through your pain, or you've got to push through your fatigue, you know, go for a walk, do exercise, don't sleep when you need to, and so I thought I would share with you my process. So basically, this will particularly ring true with people who have had pain as their main symptom with ME. I know there are some people who have like a fluey ache, but their main thing is fatigue, which I don't know what to suggest for that. Like, I have a couple of suggestions, but obviously I can only speak from my own experience, although my dad did have fatigue part more than pain, so maybe I can help. We'll see. Anyway, so basically, I had several years of just trying lots of different things. Everything from going on sleeping pills, antidepressants, and painkillers to just trying to get on with it with absolutely no input whatsoever, because I was just sick of doctors. None of these work. Boom. Basically, I was put on Zopiclone. I was put on beta blockers for headaches and horribleness. Gabapentin, cocodamol, all sorts. A whole like sort of cocktail of things. It got to the point where I was having 12 tablets a day. That got a bit much, so I kind of went, oh, okay, well, let's see if we can work something out here. So my thing is, my first like thing, which it always concerns me when people with the diagnosis of ME go, oh yeah, my doctor's told me to do this, and it's like, don't push through. So that's my first one. Don't push through. Pushing through when your body is already screaming at you to rest is not going to help. Some doctors, from sort of following the old way of dealing with ME, which is when it was considered yuppie flu, so it wasn't really considered an illness, it was considered basically a way for people to get out of work, which is appalling. They thought, well, you know, if you get out in the fresh air and you just push through and you go for massive walks and cycles and do regular swimming and all this kind of thing, then you'll get better. No, that's how to get worse. Okay, when people talk about graded exercise, people who actually are professional and good and understand the illness will tell you it's like, if you can do the length of your sitting room without hurting, then you do a tiny bit more. But generally, you can't. So basically, let's say the length of the sitting room is the goal. So you do a couple of steps, and then if you can't manage anymore, you stop. And you do those couple of steps for as long as it takes to be able to do them without having any adverse side effects. So getting out of breath, pain, fatigue afterwards. And that is graded exercise. So it is slow, but it is effective. So you have realistic goals. So don't think, oh, I'm going to walk up, you know, this hill that I've got in my area by the end of the month. That's crazy. By the end of the year, it's crazy. Let's face it. So my goal was, okay, by the end of 6 months, I want to be able to walk the length of the sitting room. It's only 6 meters. But you know, that was my goal, and it was literally the first couple of months I could do about 4 steps, and that was it. And it's that thing though, that if you have realistic goals, you're not then disappointed. Because my realistic goal was, okay, I want to be able to walk the width, which is only about 4 meters, by the end of maybe 2 months or something. So it's so graded, and it's listening to your body, which is something that the doctors will go, ooh, no, because your body will just tell you to be lazy. And it's like, no, listen to your body. If you can't like walk an amount that you think, oh wow, I should be able to walk that, like sort of, you know, 4 meters, if you can't do that without having the pain and the fatigue and everything that comes with exercise, don't do it. Do half that, or even quarter of that. So when I first started these videos, as you saw, I was reclining. I am now training myself to sit up. So obviously this position isn't very good, so I normally sit much more sensibly, sort of like that. But I'm cutting myself some slack, but basically it's being so careful with exercise, because what happens with ME, or the way that I describe it, is basically, let's face it, most of us have actually been feeling the fatigue and everything for a long time before we've been officially ill. So I know that a year, well, when I was 18 I had glandular fever, and since then I've never really been well. But a year before I became sort of properly ill, as in not able to do anything, needing a wheelchair and stuff, I was coming home from work and just crashing on the bed, and like it got to the point where I would, at lunchtime, I would just, or like at break time or something, I'd just go up to the staff room and I would just eat sugar. Because it was just like, in my head it was just like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to make it through the rest of the day. I've got to have something. And you kind of think, oh well, glucose. So, you know, and I was just like spooning sugar into my mouth, and that wasn't very good. And like crying at lunchtime. And I'm not really a crier, but just feeling just so. But not knowing, because, you know, obviously it's the thing that if you're in like a sort of job, so I worked with children with special needs in a school, and I was one-to-one with a very physically needy child. You think, oh well, I'm just exhausted because of that, and then you know, most of us are quite sort of, come on, let's get things done kind of people. It seems to strike people like that, so which is unfortunate. I think it's probably because people who aren't sort of go-getters and stuff and are happy to just sort of meander through life don't get it, because they go, I'm feeling a little bit sort of unwell or whatever, and instead of pushing through it they go, oh, I'll have a day off. And it's like, wow, that's actually a really good idea, because, you know, the other side of it is people like us who just push through it and push through it and push through it. So basically with ME, what ME is your body going, stop! And the louder it shouts, the more we have to listen.